we're going to demonstrate for you long tail interlocking bowlines. We'll use the long tail interlocking bowlines as a means to connect our rescue ropes to the rescue load, which could be a litter or a litter with a couple of attendants. We typically will use a 2-rope rescue system, a main line and a belay line. And so these are the 2 ends that we'll be tying these long tail interlocking bowlines with. Similar to the bowline we showed you that ties around an anchor point, we'll create that first loop of rope with that lower side coming out towards us. Once that's done, I'm going to pass up through that hole, around the rope, and back down through that same hole. Because this is a long tail interlocking bowline, and we'll be actually tying off the far end of this rope, we don't need to put a backup knot on this bowline. That's the first of the long tail interlocking bowlines. The size of this loop here should be about the size of your fist. To start the second bowline, you first need to make sure that you pass the rope through that loop that you've created in the first long tail interlock, or the first bowline. We'll look for about an arm span of tail to start this knot to make sure we've got adequate tail to reach the litter or our attendant. We're going to create another loop again, similar to the one that we created in the first bowline, and we're going to go ahead then and drop the orange, or that first bowline that we created. We then go about tying a bowline just like we learned previously, or how we did in that orange rope. Pass it up through that loop, around one end, and back down through that original loop. Again, because of the long tails and because these tails are going to be connected to either a litter or an attendant, we don't need to put backup knots on these long tail interlocking bowlines. You can see there, I've got long tail interlocking bowlines about the size of my fist, which will allow us to clip carabiners and other connections to these long tail interlocking bowlines, and I have these long tails left over that will connect with figure 8s to our patient or our litter or our attendant. Long tail interlocking bowlines.